The morning mist clings to the water. A small boat cuts through the silence. Inside, a man sits completely still. His name is Miyamoto Musashi, and he's set to become the most famous samurai who ever lived. But right now, he's about to be very, very late. On the island ahead, another man waits. He's been there for hours. Sasaki Kojiro, arguably the deadliest swordsman in all of Japan. His disciples stand in formation around him. His legendary nodachi rests across his knees. The duel was set for 8 in the morning. It's now past noon. Kojiro's jaw tightens. He stands slowly. His hand moves to his sword. This is not how legends are supposed to begin. Kojiro stares across the water at the approaching boat. His mind races through years of training, the countless hours perfecting his technique. The turning swallow cut. A strike so lethal that even describing it makes warriors go quiet. He has never lost. Not once. His reputation is everything. His name will outlast his body, but only if he protects it. Now, back on the water, Musashi isn't panicking. He takes the wooden oar beside him, scrapes it down with his blade, shaping it into something resembling a sword, only it's way longer than his usual weapon. His movements are calm, deliberate. No warrior prepares for the fight of his life by whittling a stick. And yet here he is. The boat scrapes against sand. Musashi climbs out. His hair is unkempt. His robes hang loose, and yet his eyes are sharp. Kojiro stares at him across the beach, at the wooden sword, at the casual disregard for everything this moment should represent. Musashi smiles. This is not the smile of a man who's unprepared. It's the smile of someone who's been here before. Many times, in fact. See, Musashi's story really started back when he was a 13-year-old kid with a serious attitude problem. His father died when he was 7, and his mother abandoned him shortly after. By 13, he was essentially an orphan, wandering the countryside, picking fights with anyone who'd give him the time of day. Word started spreading about this kid who kept beating grown men with a wooden stick. That's when he met Arima Kihei. He was this established samurai, decades of experience, hearing about some punk kid embarrassing real warriors. And he decided someone needed to put him back in his place. Kihei was everything Musashi wasn't. He was respected, established, and deadly. A fully grown samurai with decades of experience under his belt. The older man looked down at the boy and laughed. He drew his sword with the confidence of someone who'd done this 100 times before. He lunged forward, expecting an easy kill. But Musashi sidestepped and brought his wooden staff down on Kihei's skull in one fluid motion. Kihei didn't survive. That win changed everything. Word spread fast. Some wild kid had taken down a well-rounded warrior, and just like that, other samurai wanted to test him too. By 29, the age he faces Kojiro, Musashi has fought over 60 such duels, and he has survived every single one. But here's the thing about those early years. Musashi wasn't interested in collecting victories. He saw each duel as a valuable lesson. After each fight, he'd disappear for months, sometimes years. He'd wander from village to village, studying everything he could get his hands on. And no, he wasn't interested in just swordplay. In fact, he dug deep into stuff like architecture, poetry, strategy, and even cooking. He spent time with monks learning meditation. He worked with carpenters, understanding how tools move through space. He watched painters, studying how they controlled their brushstrokes. Now, most samurai thought this was weird. After all, why waste time on art when you could be perfecting your sword technique? But Musashi saw it differently. To him, everything was connected. And then there were the duels themselves. Each one taught him something new about human nature, about fear, about the gap between reputation and reality. There was the time he fought a master swordsman who was famous for his intimidating pre-fight ritual. The guy would slowly polish his blade, then stare down his opponent for minutes, trying to get inside their head. Musashi just started laughing, genuinely amused, like he had just heard a good joke. The master ended up getting so confused and frustrated that when the fight started, he was completely off his game. Musashi ended it in one strike. Why? Because he'd turned the guy's own intimidation tactic against him. Another time, he faced the entire Yoshioka school, all of them at once. 70 students and masters, all wanting revenge for their defeated leader. Musashi arrived with 2 wooden swords. He picked off the weakest fighters first, using their bodies as shields, creating chaos in their ranks until they started hitting each other by mistake. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't honorable by traditional standards, but it worked. Now, every single one of these victories reinforced the same lesson. The mind that stays flexible survives. The mind that commits too rigidly to a plan gets destroyed. But here's what makes Musashi dangerous. He's not the most technically perfect swordsman alive. That's probably Kojiro if we're being fair, but Musashi's got an ace up his sleeve. He's unpredictable. The masters taught rigid forms, classical techniques, and perfect stances that were passed down through generations. Musashi learned, and then he forgot. Now, at the center of all this unpredictability sits Musashi's most revolutionary technique. It's called the Niten Ichi-ryū. 2 swords, 1 in each hand. He developed it himself while every sensei said it was impossible. You need both hands for control, they insisted. What if I just used both swords instead? Musashi replied. This technique came from years of studying how fighters moved, how they anticipated attacks, and how they created openings. See, most swordsmen up until Musashi focused on one perfect strike. Musashi realized that if you could attack from 2 angles simultaneously, your opponent would freeze trying to process both threats. It was psychology as much as technique. Now, back to the beach. The opponent he's facing today couldn't be more different. Kojiro spent years under the legendary Toda Seigen, one of the most renowned swordsmen in Japan. His method was simple, yet very effective. Practice the same killing stroke 10,000 times until it becomes muscle memory. Same boring task day in, day out until he reached perfection. But make no mistake, perfection is deadly. So right now, we've got the most dangerous swordsman in Western Japan versus a wandering ronin who just carved himself a weapon out of a boat oar. The 2 men face each other across the sand. Kojiro draws his nodachi. The blade sings as it leaves its scabbard. 3.5 feet of folded steel. They call it drying pole. He hurls the scabbard into the sea. It hits the water with a splash. Musashi watches it sink. You've already lost, he tells him. Kojiro's eyes narrow. What? A man who throws away his scabbard has no intention of retreating. That's commitment. Musashi raises the wooden sword, but it's also evidence of a mind that's already closed. Already decided how this ends. The truth is, Musashi had been watching from the water for over an hour. He saw Kojiro pacing and working himself into a mental frenzy. And he saw the exact moment when anticipation turned into frustration. That's when he decided to row ashore. Kojiro's grip tightens. How dare he disrespect me? he thinks to himself. But the only words escaping his mouth now are, "We'll see." The duel has started. Kojiro moves first. His footwork is perfect, each step calculated. He's closing distance, preparing the strike that never failed him. The turning swallow cut. Musashi watches. His stance is loose, almost casual. He holds the wooden sword like it weighs nothing. Kojiro launches. The nodachi cuts through air in a perfect diagonal, then changes direction mid-swing, a strike designed to catch any opponent off guard. Against a trained swordsman, it's nearly impossible to anticipate. But against Musashi, it catches air and cloth. The blade clips Musashi's headband, close enough that fabric splits. A centimeter more, and it ends here. But Musashi is already moving through the strike, inside Kojiro's extended reach, his wooden sword already descending. It connects. One blow to the skull. Kojiro drops. The sound is so loud it echoes through the beach. His disciples freeze. The legendary nodachi falls into the sand beside him. Musashi stands over the body for a moment. Some say he bowed. Some say he simply turned and walked away. But what they all agree on is simpler. Sasaki Kojiro died on that beach that day, and Miyamoto Musashi walked away a legend.